There's one thing that determines how long it's going to take you to pay off your debt, and I'm going to tell you what it is. Welcome to Finish First Financially. I'm Goran Radanovic. When I have consultations with people and I look at their financial situation to see what they can change to improve it, I tell them about me adopting the minimalist lifestyle and how I analyzed every single expense to reduce it so that I could have as much savings as possible to allocate to debt. And I tell them about how I rented a room from an elderly couple to reduce my rental by 50%, or how I got rid of my car and used public transportation instead, or didn't go on vacations. And I say to them, how do you feel about that? And usually the reaction is just silence or maybe like nervous laughter. And some people are flat out resistant. They say, no, I don't agree with you. And that's fine. You can just carry on with the way you've been doing things and keep getting the same results. Or you could try something different and see how that works out for you. And what I've realized is that most people are living their lifestyle up here, whereas they should be down here. That's the level that they can actually afford, because up here is filled with debt. And people will say, well, making $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month. I'm making all of the payments on it, so I can actually afford it. Well, that's just not true, because the fact that you've taken on debt shows that you can't afford it. The literal definition of financing something is not being able to afford it. And people don't want to make that sacrifice from going from this lifestyle up here to down here. Their things that they've got, their cars or the neighborhood that they live in, provide them with status and comfort. They feel comfortable in that specific situation and they don't want to let go of it. And what I realized is that sacrifice is absolutely essential in order to improve your finances. That's what happened to me. I made a lot of sacrifices. So the degree of sacrifice that you make will determine how long it takes for you to repay your debt. So I did all of these things where I got rid of the non-essential expenses. That's what I call them, because they're not necessary for survival. And most people don't want to do that. They like how they feel when others look at them when they're in their fancy car. That car also gives them comfort because they can drive around and not use public transportation. And they just don't want to let go of that lifestyle. Now, when I talk about reducing expenses, people don't want to hear about it. They're just completely resistant to it. And they immediately switch this conversation to, well, how can I make more money? Because if I have more money, then that will enable me to have bigger savings, which I can allocate to debt. And that's just not true for many people, because they haven't conditioned themselves to be savers. They've conditioned themselves to be spenders. That's why they're living month to month. So in order to have that long-lasting solution where you actually have more money at the end of the month, it's necessary to condition yourself to become a saver. And that's done by lowering your expenses, lowering that lifestyle, then becoming used to that level and having more money at the end of the month. So becoming uncomfortable is essential to paying off your debt as quickly as possible. And remember, all of these adjustments that you might make, it doesn't have to be for the rest of your life. It's just until you pay off your debt. Because once you've paid off your debt, you no longer have those monthly payments. So you've got bigger savings. And that money enables you to do things that you couldn't afford to do before. So making sacrifices involves becoming uncomfortable. It's reducing your expenses, lowering that lifestyle so that you can pay off the debt as quickly as possible. And if you'd like help with improving your finances, contact me at finishfirstfinancially@gmail.com and come onto the show so you could have a free consultation where we discuss your situation and see how we can improve it to put you on the path to financial freedom ASAP.